Good evening, and thank you all for being here this evening. I just wanted to introduce a few key people. We have our Assistant Chief Tyus here, Deputy Chief Hampton, COO Lisa Gordon, Chief of Staff Odie Donald, Deputy COO LaShondra Burks. We also have our Public Safety Chairman of the City Council, Dustin Hillers, Mary Norwood, Howard Shook, Howard Shook, not a past time. Over there, Howard Shook, and JP Mazzicate, and our CFO, Mohammed Bala, and a number of others, Peter Amon included. I'm here tonight because I'm pleased to announce two major arrests in connection with two separate homicides that occurred this week or in recent weeks, but the homicides arrests occurred today. Today, in cooperation with DeKalb County Police Department, the Atlanta Police Department took into custody 23-year-old Antonio Brown, who is the suspect in the tragic killing of 77-year-old Eleanor Bowles right here in Buckhead. Mr. Brown is currently being questioned by APD detectives in this case. In a separate matter, APD has taken into custody a third suspect in the investigation of the double homicides of 12-year-olds and 15-year-olds at Atlantic Station last month. This suspect is a 16-year-old juvenile out of Clayton County. And so as our community continues to process these atrocious crimes, I also want our residents to know that these violent criminals are being apprehended and will be brought to justice. These arrests are due to the extraordinary police work of the men and women of the Atlanta Police Department and our partners. They're also made possible by extensive cooperation and support of the community, who has given us a lot of support and has answered our call in these vital investigations. In the case of Mr. Brown today, we put out a call to the public just yesterday, Chief Hampton and others, asking for help identifying the person of interest in a camera footage. Today, a resident spotted Mr. Brown and contacted the Atlanta Police Department, who were able to make an arrest. This arrest occurred in less than 24 hours from when we put out the information regarding this person of interest. As I've said time and time again, Atlanta is a group project. And when we have horrific, horrible incidents like this, it is important for us to come together and to act. And so what I said after the heartbreaking shooting of those young people at Atlantic Station a month ago holds just as true today when a senior citizen is killed. When something like this happens, the entire village is impacted and the entire village is called upon to support. And regardless if you live on the north side of town, the south side, the east, or the west, regardless of your economic station, APD and this administration will exhaust all our resources to bring violent criminals to justice and to make sure that we keep our city streets safe. The killing of Miss Bowles is understandably rocking our community. And my heart aches for these family members, of whom I've actually spoken to. I talked to her two sons, Michael Bowles as well as David McBride. Michael Bowles was commenting about how he was with his mother just a few weeks ago at Thanksgiving, and how she kept his two cats, he and his wife's cats, and that he was returning to see her and to see them. And her life is cut short in that process. And David McBride was talking about how she was a great grandmother to his two kids. And so when you have these conversations and connections with the community members, you understand the humanity that's involved. You also get a sense of how well connected they were and how they applauded the Atlanta Police Department. They applauded the detectives and the care for which they've given them, and the follow-up conversations and support that they received from this police department. And so I don't know what would drive someone to do such heinous acts, what would drive someone to make this decision to do something this horrible. It's beyond my comprehension, honestly. While our police is working very hard to answer that question by interviewing this suspect, you know that I share our community's outrage and our heartbreak. And so let me be very clear to those who would want to do harm in our community, who would want to perpetrate these crimes. If you pull a gun or pull out a knife in our city to hurt, harm, or kill someone, you will be arrested and sent to jail. We will use all of the tools of the Atlanta Police Department and our friends and our partners, every resource we have to bring to justice criminals that act in this violent way. The Atlanta Police Department continues to lead the nation in our efforts to close homicide investigations. We stand right now with one of the highest closure rates in the nation at 82%, and the national average is 54%. This should give you a good indication that if you hurt, harm, or kill someone in this city, you will be brought to justice by this Atlanta Police Department and our friends around this region. And so, we also will continue to use the tools that we have in place, and these measures are working. While even one act of violent crime is unacceptable, it is important to know that crime is moving in the right direction by crime prevention measures that we have that are working. Here in Buckhead, crime is down in almost every single category. The only one that is still up is in shoplifting. Every single category is down, and most of them are down by double digits this year. And so I wanted to make sure I highlighted that, because one of the tools that we're using to help us do this is our extensively growing camera network. The camera technology has greatly aided us in both of the cases that saw arrests occur today, the one from Atlantic Station and the one of Miss Eleanor Bowles. We stood up Connect Atlanta this year precisely to aid us in cases like this. And I am proud that our city residents and businesses have answered our call to register and integrate their cameras into Connect Atlanta, which is our real-time crime-fighting network. As of today, we have 10,428 integrated cameras directly into our network, and another 6,564 cameras that are registered with us. And that is allowing our police real-time access to fight crime. Both of these arrests we announced today were the result of video footage or camera footage that allowed our police to identify suspects. Today I am renewing my call to businesses and residents alike. If you have security cameras, please continue to register them at www.connectatlanta.org. Again, that's www.connectatlanta.org. It is saving lives, and it is also helping us to close these arrests. And so now I will take your questions, and I will have Chief Hampton here that can also address any specific questions about this case. But I thank my colleagues from the City Council for being here. I thank all the individuals from the business community and the police department that are here today.
Can you first talk a little bit about the 17th Street Bridge shooting, that arrest? So this is now a 15-year-old and now two 16-year-olds arrested for killing a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old. Can you talk a little bit about the magnitude of this, these all being young people now?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll let Chief give some of the specifics on it. But, this is heart-wrenching. I mean, for me, as I grew up here as a kid in the city of Atlanta, I went through my teens and was able to go off to college and live a full life. My mother is proud, and she's been proud of me and able to, see me grow. And here we have a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old whose lives were stopped short at the hands of a gun by individuals hanging out past curfew at Atlantic Station. Measures were put in place to try to help them be safe by installing this curfew. We had 20-plus officers at Atlantic Station at the exact time of the shooting. After you saw the gun flash, you saw police lights. It's literally trying to help keep people safe and to give them an opportunity to go forward in life. We have midnight basketball. We have police athletic league. We have at Promise Center. We have summer youth employment that employ 3,000 youth. Well, we got to have a fall answer, it seems. because summer we had crime down. Youth-related crime was very down. But now, in the fall, we got to get back to certain things. So, my team, we've already announced the Year of the Youth is occurring next year, where all departments, all eyes, all hands are on youth. I'm calling on mentors. I'm calling on people that, we got to train parents how to keep a good eye on your kid. If you've given them a cell phone, then they need to be, you need to know where they are through that cell phone network. And to know, when I called those parents that night, I called most of those parents. I talked to the parents of 4 different children. None of them knew their kid was at Atlantic Station. And so we are going to have to, talk about guns in our community. We're going to talk about parents being accountable and knowing where their children are. But then we also have to continue to sow those seeds of community support in this group project with all the activities that I've mentioned before, from basketball and on, to bring about, change. And a lot was good about what has happened over this year. A lot was good about the summer and youth-related activities. But then here we are. We come towards the end of this year, and some of these tragedies happen.
So you want to talk about the proposed curfew?
Yeah, I know we're talking about a curfew. I mean, if you think about the Atlantic Station incident, it happened around 7 p.m. So if we were to set a curfew at 7 p.m., what about kids that are coming from practice, going to recitals, going to ball games? I mean, how do you, one thing about me, I'm data-driven, and I'm not going to be knee-jerk, and I am going to also have a reflective mentality of who I was as a teen, living in this very same city. I had lots of, my daughter works right down the street from here right now. She doesn't get off till 10 o'clock. So you'd have so we'd have a lot of parameters around how a curfew would be installed and enforced. And so, but we're thoughtful about it, we're communicative about it, and we're trying to see what's next. Yes?
Mayor, I don't know if this goes to you, the police department, or the district attorney's office. You've got a 15-year-old or 2 16-year-olds. Their ages, possibility of being tried as adults.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to the DA and the judicial system. As you know, this police department has the charge of protecting and serving, and they do the arrest. They do the hard work of investigations. They do the hard work of making sure they have good communications and the camera networks, and making sure that all of the nuts and bolts of doing police work is done, and they're doing it to the fullest. After they are arrested, they are now in the hands of Fulton County in this city, or in DeKalb on the other side of this city. And so from there, it's up to them how they try these individuals, and even the juvenile system. When you look at these scenarios, and Chief could give that some of these individuals, the 12-year-old, the 15-year-olds, and others, have had some cycles with law enforcement. So we'll see what happens next on the judicial side.
Last question. In the case of Ms. Bowles, do we know how the suspect may have gotten into the gated security area? And also, my second question for you would be, several businesses have complained or have reported that we had a few incidents with the suspect. Are you aware of those incidents?
So your first question, what we do know is that he entered into the complex on foot. How he bypassed the security gate is still under investigation, so we're still combing through video to see how he really accessed those gates. And then the other question you asked about, yes, we are aware, but that's still under investigation as far as what the encounters that we had with him prior to this incident.
Did he act alone, or did he
Again, this is still a very active investigation. Right now, we think he played a significant role. I'm not ruling out if there's anyone else, but right now we have who we were looking for right now, and happy that we made this arrest.
Can you just talk to the 17th Street shooting? You talked last week about how you guys were able to find the 16-year-old in New York. Can you talk a little bit about this latest arrest, where this boy was found, and how you guys made him find?
Again, Detective Shepard, as I stated before, it was going to make sure that we bring everyone who was responsible. So this latest arrest was a 6-year-old child, as the mayor alluded to, lived in Clayton County, party to a crime for murder, aggravated assault, as well as the gang charge. So again, we're not done. We're still investigating, and again, we will hold anyone responsible for the death of the 2 juveniles.
Are you saying these are gang related?
Again, they were charged with the gang statute. And again, as far as you know, I always say I won't try a lot of this information in public. We have to respect the process, and I don't want to share a whole lot, but again, they were charged with the game statute.
Mayor, ask you one question, sir. Mayor Dickens, can I ask you a question?
You already did.
Today is Monday, December 12th. The year is 2022, not 2023. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess earlier in the video, I was so busy dealing worried about Grayson's behind. We did get him some medication and a new cone around his head that's bigger, so he's not actively licking his testicles, but he got neutered. So he's doing much better now. He's in his sleep. I'm not giving that medicine. Out. I said, good. I gave one to Vanny Grayson, Ginger, to here. Ginger, you take a little piece. So they both in there knocked out on that bed in there. Let them sleep. All right. Gosh, they made it right. I told y'all they wasn't going to waste it. Did y'all really think the Atlanta police was going to dilly-dally on arresting somebody who stabbed a 77-year-old woman to death up there in Buckhead in her multi-million-dollar home? Then police they went over to that spot. They immediately started saying, okay, we got to get this individual. And they locked that nigga up, 23 years of age. Antonio Coleman or Johnson or something. What was his name? I think it was John. It's something Antonio. But anyway, I just had the article. Y'all, my computer's kind of a mess right now, and I don't want to keep clicking on pages because it will slide. I meant to close the Safari out. Let me see. Let me close that out real quick because it might shut down this computer. Okay, that's closed. Let's see. I'm pretty sure his name was Antonio Johnson or Coleman or something similar to that. It was 23. Anyway, it don't matter. Yeah, here it is. Suspect arrested in Buckhead grandmother stabbing death. 23-year-old Antonio Marquavious Brown was arrested in DeKalb County and was questioned late Monday. He is accused of killing Eleanor Bowles in her Paces West Terrace home. Did y'all really think they were going to dilly-dally? This was some black woman on the south side of town that was killed outside of This Is It restaurant, honey. Oh, no. This one was killed in her home up there in Buckhead. Now, you know them white folks terrorized about this. Oh, my gosh, she was killed in her own home. Atlanta might have some issues behind this one. But here's the deal, y'all. These young men in Atlanta are so dangerous. These teenagers. I think the problem we have in Atlanta is that the judicial system, is particularly when it comes to juvenile court, is being way too lax with these guys. And as they commit these crimes in juvenile, they got to come up with a better way to really sentence these guys to keep them off the street. Because let's just keep it real, y'all. These guys are going to keep doing this shit over and over again. I know some of y'all want them to get them a second chance and third chance. Did y'all hear what Maya Angelou said? When people show you who they really are, believe them the first time. So some of these people, some of these guys, these young teenagers who do these heinous crimes, shooting, stabbings, killing, I am going to be very curious to see what his criminal record was like for Antonio Brown. I can imagine assault. Well, let's just wait and see what they say his past was like. It's going to come out. They're giving these young kids too many chances. And all they're doing with taking these chances are going out and harming more people. They're just too immature. They're just little kids. They don't know about it. Let's just face it, 23, he's still a kid. He's an adult over the age of 21. But mentally, they're not there, y'all. So... And another thing, y'all, I don't want to spend one night in jail, at least alone the rest of my damn life. You have to wonder why all these kids don't have a problem shooting, stabbing, killing, and ready to spend the rest of their lives behind bars like a wild animal in a cage. Who wants to live like that? I don't. And like I told you, it ain't never crossed my mind to pick up a weapon and assault, murder, or harm anybody. I don't want to spend no time in jail for aggravated assault or murder or any of that shit. But these young folks, they're making foolish, dumb decisions, taking people's lives, and they're going to spend the rest of their lives behind jail. And these are these young, black, foolish. Of course, we know white folks do it. We see these young white folks grabbing guns and shooting up stores and churches and all this stuff. They're all making stupid decisions. We do know this. But this is the United States of America. The judicial system in regards to these juveniles and the educational system is a complete nightmare. We have a country that is in love with guns here. We love them. The whole United States, everybody got a gun. How these people get access to these guns. And the crazy part is, this 23-year-old kid stabbed this woman to death. What did he do? Grab a kitchen knife? I'm trying to figure out the logic, how he got so close to this woman that he would start stabbing her with a knife. Did she interrupt him when he was doing something? Was he in the house already? Did he break into it? Did he walk through the crowd? I mean, to stab somebody, you have to get really close to that person. And there's blood everywhere. It just makes you wonder, what was he thinking? Maybe he wasn't thinking. But I'm glad he's off the streets, because obviously this boy's crazy. That could have been anybody's mother or grandmother. That could have been my mother. That one was very close to the age of my mother. I put my mother in this high rise with security, an elevator. I did all this stuff for a reason, because I know how my mother can be. She wasn't them church-going Christians. She judged everybody. I said, okay, Miss Hammer, you going up in this high rise where there's security. And I've told them, to keep an eye on her, watch her, and call me if you see something weird going on over here, because this woman crazy. It's unfortunate. But anybody who has an elderly mother in the city of Atlanta or any city, sometimes being in these houses might not be a good idea. Not unless you have somebody living there with them, keep an eye on things. It's gotten to that point. There's no way I would have my 77-year-old mother in some house by herself, and it wouldn't make sense. I know that some of these people don't want to leave their homes. They've been in them for years, but from a security standpoint and a safety standpoint, it's maybe not that wise. It is unfortunate and tragic that this young man went up there to that woman's house and killed her in her own home. And y'all, they might get this boy the death penalty behind this shit. But we have to see what happens. Also depends on his record. I'm willing to bet that record's a mile long, but I'm just going to hold my tongue on that one and wait and see. They're going to let it all out. And when they take his ass to court within the next few days or so, because arraignment might be tomorrow. Well, these kids are crazy. Do they have nothing to do with their time? See, this is what happens when you have an educational system that's not educating these young men. They don't see any opportunities. They don't see a way out. They don't see a positive solution. No parenting skills from their own parents. An educational system that has failed them. A lax judicial system that don't really give a fuck about them when they're juveniles. This is what happens. That's why you see shooting after shooting after killing after killing. It's always these teenagers or someone very young and foolish. All I can tell y'all is you better protect yourself, lock your doors. I first moved into this house, I was kind of lackadaisical about locking these doors. And one night I took some trash out, literally walked out the basement door of the house, all the way around, because the basement's down on the hill, so you gotta go up a hill to get to the driveway, then you gotta go down the hill to take the trash. So I was exhausted, and I went in the house and closed the door and sleep. But I forgot to close that basement door. The next morning I got up and went downstairs, and the door wide open. I said, oh shit, I forgot. It was literally wide open. I was looking to see if any animals ran up there. I'm looking to see if some deers ran up here, any squirrels or anything. I said, oh shit, I left this door. It was wide open. Had I been in the Niggerville somewhere in the city, my ass might not have survived that night. So because I made that mistake twice, I was working on this house. I was just me over here. And that particular day, both times, twice I left the door open. It was just me staring at the time. And now I walk through this house to make sure every door is locked. I turn on these lights like a Christmas tree around here. Literally, I have lights all over this house. I flick them on. My neighbor's like, oh, it's bright. I say it's going to stay that way till I pay that Georgia Power bill. I don't trust people. People see you in a nice home. They think you have nice shit. I don't keep no cash in here. I don't have any valuable jewelry. What they gonna do? Snatch a couch or a table and run out the door with a TV off the wall? You want them cheap TVs? I ain't paying nothing for them damn things. When I go shopping for television, I buy the cheapest, biggest TV they got. How much is that TV? They say Vizio. I'd say, well, does it work? Okay, good enough for me. I take it. I don't be buying on $5,000-$6,000 television for what this shit cheap. I give me the cheap. This TV right here cost me what, $300? The 50, 60-inch TV. I ain't on the wall. Nobody can tell the difference. You're just watching the news and pay shit for these damn TVs. I don't have anything of any value in here that somebody can come in and steal. They be wasting their damn time. They're just gonna grab a couch and run out the damn door. There's no jewelry. There's no cash here. And these shoes I have for years. I ain't even bought no new Nikes lately. What are they gonna do? Break the towel off the floor and run up out of here? When somebody come in here, I think they're gonna be very disappointed what they see, because unless they want to take furniture up out of here, a couch or a dining room table, some chairs, ain't nothing else in here. There's no antiques of any value, no jewelry. I have no stacks of cash in this house, trust me. I keep that in the bank, where it's safer. In case it's out burning my money in there. No, ain't no money in there, honey. Some the change jar. No cash in here. Well, it makes you wonder, what did this guy get out this house from this woman? Now, of course, we all know people do have hundreds of $1,000s worth of jewelry in their home and cash and store it up in the safe and all that shit. So who knows? White folks have expensive antiques, and white folks and black folks do it too. Expensive antiques and jewelry and forks and spoons and knives and, all kinds of stuff that could be stolen and sold. I get it. Remember that pastor got robbed at that church, and he said they stole $1 million worth of jewelry. It was something outrageous. I was like, oh, what? Well, I'm glad they did make an arrest. They need to get that fool off the street. Clearly, he don't need to be walking around that you were breaking somebody's house and stab him. What did he get out of it? See, here's another issue, too. A lot of these kids have mental illness that is not being treated, that's not being dealt with. These kids have some serious mental health issues because they don't care about killing somebody. I watch my surroundings like a hawk. I don't trust them. If I'm in the gym working out, I'll take one of the iPods out my ear and just put it in the case, and I can listen while I'm working out. I don't trust them niggas around me. And in case somebody come in and start shooting at that gym, I'm ready to hear that bullets going on. I'm going to run to safety. Right. I'm going to be running to safety. You better get out my fucking way. I'll be knocking folks out the way. You got to get out that back door. Get the hell out of there. I'm not running up there to say nobody's life. You on your own. Luckily, I've never been in an incident where there was somebody shooting a gun. I'm lucky because I've never really been around somebody shooting a gun, or I've never been. I don't know, but y'all, for the past since I was 30 years of age, I tend to stay away from these crowds. I'm 52. I already know how these niggas get down, so I keep my distance. So I don't go to these clubs and hookah bars and lounges and none of that shit. Even when I go down to Miami, out in Miami, I normally stay at the Fontainebleau Hotel, and there's a little nightclub in there. I go down there occasionally. I would literally come down the elevator, walk over to the club, go down there, hang out with them, and go back upstairs and go to bed. I don't be on the streets of Miami hanging out and drinking and stuff. Oh, no. I don't know nothing about Miami nightlife. Couldn't tell you. Because I've never participated in it. Other than that club in the basement of Fontainebleau. I can't even think of the name of y'all. Some of y'all might know what it is. However, back to the subject matter. These young black kids, they're crazy. They're crazy. It's gonna be a prison system full of young black fools. It just don't make sense. But when you drive through Atlanta and you see all these boys wandering through these streets, and you see these kids who couldn't be no more than 10, 11, 12 years of age, just aimlessly out there on these, where are the parents at? The parents don't give a fuck. The school system can't care. The police can't do nothing until they do something. And I know this is not just Atlanta, this problem is nationwide. These kids are, What can you do about it? Everybody, what are the solutions? I don't know. Shit, I'm over there sipping and locking cranberry with my doors locked. Listen, I don't know. What solution can you come up with? Look, I have no clue. Obviously, if there was a solution to this problem, wouldn't they have been doing it by now? And this problem has been going on for quite some time now. And it's getting worse. No one has a solution. Other than the only solution I came up with, lock their asses up forever. As they commit these crimes, just throw them, lock them up, throw away the key. Okay, just what can you do? I don't know what the solution can be. I don't think anybody knows. I couldn't even tell you. I didn't even scratch my brain thinking about it. When I finish this video, I'm going to take a shower and go to bed, and I make these doors locked, alarm, and say deep, 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 and make sure my heat is right next to my bed. You know, sometimes you be in bed sleeping, you hear something. What was that? And how, you know, it's an older house, so you hear some noises. Literally, y'all, when I hear that noise, I don't lay there. I get up and say, okay, what is that? I'm listening. And when I go to bed, and I have doors to the bedroom that I lock, I just do. But anyway, and I'm not a paranoid person. However, I'm acclimating to this new house here, and it's a fairly big house. So when I hear weird noises and stuff, and it sounds like something's in the house going on, it could be the furnace kicking on. It could be any damn thing. And I listen, and I go out. I give it a few seconds. If I hear anything and no movement, then I go out and do my inspections. Go looking around, flipping on the lights. I can control a lot of the lights here from my phone. I turn on the lights. Everybody down there gonna be like, oh shit! The sunlight, these lights come on bright like the sun over here. I put all these recessed cans throughout the house. Might have been a minute. I think we kind of went overboard with the recessed lights. But you turn this shit on, it's so fucking bright here. You say, okay, dim that shit. But when you turn them on high, oh boy. So, I don't know what to say. I don't know the solution to this problem. I really don't. I couldn't even tell you. I don't think nobody knows the solution to the problem until they figure it out. In the meanwhile, watch your back. Lock your doors. Don't trust these heathens. Close your garage doors. You have an alarm and cameras and stuff. Put in an alarm system. Don't have anything of value somebody want to steal from you in your car, on your possession. If you like to wear jewelry and stuff, don't do that these days. I don't wear no jewelry. I ain't never seen, gold chain rings and all that shit. But I know a lot of people do that. Be careful. People see this stuff. You know, remember I said about going to a bank machine. Be careful. Even coming out of bank, I downloaded a video about in California, something called Jugging in California, where they rob people. They follow you in the bank. They see you in the bank taking care of business, and you come out, they come out and rob you. I downloaded that video, and it was, I may attach it to this report, I don't know. But I'm exhausted, John. I'm about to go my ass to bed. I just want to do a quick video so they caught that motherfucker. I knew they were going to catch him. Y'all think they're going to let that heathen run around these streets of Atlanta after he didn't kill a 77-year-old wealthy white woman in Buckhead? Okay, we still are in the South, and this is Georgia. He might get the electric chair behind this shit. But we'll see. We'll see. They move swiftly with this one. They wouldn't go dilly-dally. They all say, yeah, do y'all know this person? I said, oh no. And I bet you somebody that was a $10,000 reward. I bet you somebody was, people down. Hey, like that, everybody, people who knew him, they was all off. That's so-and-so. Where is he? $10,000 do somebody something good right about now. Shit. I bet you somebody will get that $10,000 reward too for turning that nigga in. Welcome to Niggerville, y'all. But anyway, it's late at night. I just want to do that video and plus the other thing. This thing will be too damn long. I'm going to go my ass to bed. Today is Monday, December 12th. The year is 2022, not 2023. I don't know how I got 2023 early in that video. I wish it was 2023. But no, I was just enjoy the rest of 2022. And I'm out of here. Enjoy yourselves and have a good evening. Good night.